Make that 3 big signings for Mark Pope over the weekend, and now his 6th player added to his first Kentucky roster. Wake Forest transfer Andrew Carr has committed to Kentucky, announcing his decision Sunday evening following an official visit to Lexington. He said in a post on X, "Excited to announce I am transferring to the University of Kentucky for my graduate season. I know what it means to wear Kentucky across my chest and couldn't be more ready to get to work. Go Cats." As a Kentucky fan, how can you not love that? Carr, a 6'11", 230-pound forward, averaged 13.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.5 blocks in 32.5 minutes per outing for the Demon Deacons. He started all 35 games played while shooting 52.6% overall and 37.1% from deep. And he took about 3 attempts per contest. He also shot 78.1% from the free throw line. On3 ranks Carr as the 73rd best player in the portal this offseason, a stretch 4 with the ability to knock down shots from the perimeter and guard multiple positions. The former Demon Deacon announced he'd be exploring his transfer options while also testing the NBA draft waters on April 15th. He spent his first 2 college seasons at Delaware before transferring to Wake Forest for the last 2 and will have 1 year of eligibility remaining at Kentucky. For a more in-depth breakdown on Andrew Carr and how he'll fit into Kentucky's system next season, we kick it over to KSR's Brandon Ramsey.
With Andrew Carr, I think you're getting a guy that is kind of tailor-made to play in the offensive system that we all expected to see from Coach Mark Pope's offense coming from BYU to Kentucky. He's a guy that made over 1 3 per game last season at Wake Forest. He's a 6'11" 4-man. He shot 37.1% from 3, I believe. So he obviously can stretch the floor from the 4 spot while also giving you elite size. And one of the things I really like about him and why I like the way he fits into this, roster build in general for Coach Pope is that it's not very often that you get stretch 4, face up 4 guys that then are also excellent rebounders and excellent rim protectors. I'm pretty impressed with some of his passing ability too. His assist numbers were relatively low, but his turnovers are low too, which is good to see. I think that he can fit pretty well playing alongside another big man at Kentucky. And he did some high-low stuff with Efton Reed at Wake Forest, which also fits pretty well with a guy like Amari Williams or a guy potentially like Grado Sabor. So again, I like the two-way ability here a lot. I think if you're looking for any sort of a concern, it would just be, is this guy ready to be a star at a place like Kentucky? I don't know if he necessarily has star power, but he certainly fits in, I think, to any system because of the skill level that he brings at his size. Looking at his synergy page, which is obviously a lot of the advanced analytics stuff, he literally rates excellent in almost every offensive category. It was kind of staggering when I looked at that, and I was like, oh wow, I wasn't actually expecting to see this. And whether it be in post-up situations or catch and shoot or in the half court, in transition, like he is one of the most efficient offensive players, or he was one of the most efficient offensive players in the country last season while still rebounding the ball and still blocking shots. So I think there's a lot to be excited about with getting Andrew Carr here at Kentucky.
So with Amari Williams already on the roster and Great Osabor likely to commit to Kentucky at some point, you wonder, where does Andrew Carr fit into this system?
The more I think about it, the more I honestly think that it could be Amari Williams that's coming off the bench, because I think that if you're operating under the assumption that you get Grado Sabor, to me, he's the lock. Like he's obviously starting. He's a guy who legitimately could be your best player. To me, it would make the most sense to start Carr at the 4 and Osabor at the 5 again, because I think that the length that Carr provides allows you to be a little bit smaller at the 5.
Carr joins Colin Chandler, Travis Perry, Amari Williams, Lamont Butler, and Otega Owe as official roster additions for the upcoming 24-25 season. Assistant coach Cody Fueger even put out a tweet that had a double boom. So who knows what that means? More coming. Make sure you subscribe to KSR on YouTube, and also check out KS Board to get an early look at who Kentucky is bringing in for the first season under new head coach Mark Pope.